This advice in this video is the 8th law of 48 laws of power, and for guys it is very, very powerful, if especially when you want to use it to get girls, because to be very honest, relationships has a lot of what is called power dynamics that we'll get into later. Let's talk about it. When you make other people come to you, what happens is they are working on your plans. What that means is you control the deck of cards. This is first of all powerful when you have enemies you need to take care of. This is very powerful when you have people in the hierarchy you need to take care of. But like I said, as a guy, if you get this particular law very well and use it to your advantage, it will be easy for you to attract more women. Because see this way, whenever somebody is acting based on your plans, you are the one in control. And heck, this idea is so powerful that it's being used between Pepsi and Coke over and over again, where one of these brands makes a move and the other one makes a move, right? It's very, very rare to see in business space that one person makes a move and the other doesn't. And it becomes much more powerful, right? And this is one technique that Apple would always use to win its competitors. Apple's idea is they're always the first to bring out a particular product. Guess what? Their competitors follow. But even though their competitors release 10,000 products, Apple may never ever do that. Why? Because they understand the idea that the competition is obsessed over Apple. I'm using Apple as a very good example here because in your case, if you draw people towards you, they will be acting on your plan. So if you have somebody who wants to take you out, stay where you are. And if it is very, very nice for you, use a bait. Something very, very attractive to that person. That is to the enemy in this case. That is in business, relationship, right? And one thing you should also realize is when somebody walks up to you or somebody is coming towards you, not only are you the one in control, right? But you can think 10 steps ahead of time because why? They're coming to you, you already know what to do. So as a guy, how is this, as a guy trying to attract babes into his life, how would you work to your advantage? You're the type of person who's an introvert, right? You can decide to build an aura around you so women can come towards you. But what that means is women will have to feel that aura and want to approach you. That is how it's helpful for you when you're trying to attract a partner. So in this case, your bait, what could your bait be? Your bait could be your lifestyle. Although I don't exactly give this approach though. Why? Because a lot of guys will build a lifestyle basically around money and assume that money alone is all you need as your bait. Nah. Money is supposed to use to create experience, quite alright. But your entire life, your entire aura, your entire personality should be a magnetic personality. You walk into a room, right? You walk into a room and everybody wants to know who you are. It's the level of mystery that comes with you. When people begin to walk up to you, right? If you've ever tried to attract a lady, or if you ever try to walk up to a lady, you are already calculating what you should do. That is what you should say, how you should do, how should you approach her, what should you tell her when you open your mouth. Yeah, that's fair. But one thing you should realize is, in that current situation, she currently holds the deck of cards. She's currently in control. But if you can flip the script, now mind you, flipping the script has an art on its own. But the entire point is, if she comes towards you, you now have the deck of cards. You may say, oh, I don't want to have this power dynamics in my relationship. It's not healthy. I'm super sorry. There was a research that showed that when men were the ones having the major power dynamics in the relationship, the woman was happier. Think about it. That we had healthier families when the men were leading the families. Not this new idea of equality in family, where equality in family has led to more broken homes, has led to a lot of children with daddy problems. I don't even discuss it because I have a different video to discuss daddy problems, and I'll get to that very, very soon. Now, also, if you're somebody who wants to attract strangers, even into your business, guess what you need to do? Your bait needs to be something valuable. What that means is if you're out there, you're posting valuable content, all of a sudden, you're going to see strangers coming to you. And this right here is also a very powerful advice if you're running a business. Because the more, as you're valuable, your customers are coming towards you. They want to see what you have to offer. They want to experience your product. And guess what? At that current moment, you control the entire journey. This is why you must become very valuable. You must have powerful baits. So if you zoom out and realize that the concept in this chapter applies to almost every area of life, and the major advices I'll tell people is become a magnetic person. Even though you have enemies, draw the enemies towards you, right? Let them act based on your plan. The beautiful thing about this is not just do you control the cards. The thing is that when you make people come towards you, they are most likely empty in terms of energy. And if the case where it is your enemies, they are empty. They've already spent their energy coming towards you. But because you stayed where you are, right? You focus on staying where you are, then they are acting on your plan and you are filled with your energy. You basically see this thing again when it comes to fighting. But the people that are fighting, they realize that timing is very important. So they patiently watch to see what the opponent is doing. They wait for a perfect time. Some people will keep walking back to watch the feet of what? Their opponents. And that is where I always see the best sweeps, the best moves that take these guys down. They retreat and they make this person act on their plans. Apparently, this idea comes from judo or aikido, where they rely on using the actions of the opponent to their advantage. It's the same concept here. You're using your actions of your opponent against them. And you do this by making them come towards you. So on my notes here, what I have here is good warriors, like I said, good warriors make others come to them. Same thing everywhere in the world. If you have a very interesting lifestyle, does not mean you are rich. It doesn't mean you have $1 million. You are going to attract a lot of women. Women are going to come towards you. So to make others come towards you, you could use an attractive lifestyle. Be funny, be jovial, be able to crack jokes, be free, be confident. If you run a business, give out valuable tips, right? And people will come to you. And mind you, if customers come to you, then you have the edge, right? Because you can begin to set your prices. And the more they come to you, right, the more prices you can charge. It shows that you are in demand. That's why I said that if a business that literally controls the customers is one that will win in the long term. Because why? There's something that they are doing. They have a very powerful bait in this context. That's why the business has more power. Most businesses, right? Even in business, most businesses, they rely heavily on them going to meet customers. So what that means is, if they stop going to meet customers, their business is dead in the water, super dead. But at some point, when you get this concept and you get to realize that making them come towards you is more powerful. I think I discovered that in 80-20 marketing principle, right? If you focus on getting customers to come towards you, you may say, okay, fine, you're just starting out. How can I do it? Think about it. The more you think about answers like this, the better for you. I think it was a particular designer. This is what she did. A particular designer did this. Mind you, this was her brand, right? She kept asking for this particular brand if they had it. If they had this brand. Oh, you haven't heard about this brand. This is a new brand. And then you want to check whether you have it or not. And obviously, this store never had it because they never heard of the brand. All of a sudden, I started receiving 10 to 30 calls from different people asking for this particular brand. If they felt like this is an opportunity to get that brand into their store. Guess what? They contacted her, right? Because obviously Google search. They brought her product into their store, and that is how her products began to command good prices, right? And also make sure that this thing was about to become in demand. The more the store pushed it as a hot selling item, and guess what? It became an actual hot selling item in that brand, in that store. And that's how this person actually blew her brand. By doing what? Making them come to her. Making the store come to her. Because they are not in the store. And told them that I have this new item. I want you to put this my new item into your store. Would have kicked her out. Would have played her around. But making them feel like which was the bait. The bait was, if you have this in your store, you're going to have customers flooding it because this is a new product. This is a new product that you should get in your store. And that move alone guarantee that the brand became a mainstream brand. So I've given several examples of how guys can basically attract women. The bait is your lifestyle. Please be very careful here because no money your entire life. Become a well-rounded man. If you have money alone, does not guarantee you jack shit. If you don't believe me, look at a lot of tech bros. They have money but no game, and now they are in deep waters, looking at how the modern dating landscape is going. We'll talk about that later. If you want to attract customers, instead of looking at gold